Wow, good evening and welcome to another episode of Midori's Midnight Sessions Season 4. Isa lang masasabi ko, and I have to make this episode because something kind of came up that kind of prompted me to want to do this episode, and it is the irony, the absolute fucking irony of this kind of, so sa church kasi namin is that they kind of have like um a series every month where it's like a different topic and all of that. So kind of like how this season, like these seasons are focused on a particular aspect. Kunwari, season 2 was mainly my thesis and the academics around that. Season 3 was, the wrestle between should I do this, should I not do this? And now, with season 4, it's mostly, it's mostly the aftermath catching up to me. It's the realization ng ano ba yung na-dealt sa'yo na, like, the realization of the impact that trauma has to you, and it forces you to have like a very 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 different worldview than like everybody else, which you can't really blame me for kasi parang I was thinking about this kanina sa banyo, and I was kind of reflecting like may mga times kasi na how would I word this, like you were strong because you were forced to do it, like it's kind of a paradoxical and philosophical irony na like parang kunwari kung sasabihin sa'yo na kunwari namatayan ka and sasabihin sa'yo na pakatatag ka, but it also kind of like these kinds of life altering events forces you to be strong. Like one thing that I did realize about the debacle last Wednesday was I knew that, how I see the world isn't aligned with how they see the world. Like, not Kuya Den, not anybody in that group. Not even me. I mean, just in general, I just knew that I wouldn't vibe with everybody, but I still tried it out, and I was hoping that something would change. Okay, like that was the hope. That was like something that I was really kind of anticipating. Pero I guess it turned out to be for naught. And from then on, I knew I had to leave. I had to protect myself. I had to. I had to. And another thing is that it was just like that eye opener for me to stop. But it also kind of forced me into this really, really bad shame spiral of what did I even tell this? Why did I even attend in the first place? But in a way, it was kind of a blessing kasi if I didn't, I wouldn't have realized na mali, these were the wrong people to confide to. Well, for one, they were guys. There were guys, I mean. And the second reason is These guys, like some of the guys, no, actually, most of the guys are like younger than I am. And pang na-realize ko dun na hindi kami magkakapareho ng worldview. The worldview is my worldview, and just how I see a lot of things very much differs. Parang I kind of did it like, I wouldn't say that this is invalidating. I wouldn't say na invalidating to. But I guess it's just really like a realization, a painful realization of how much this particular experience has changed me in ways that I don't even realize. Is that I hear their problems, and I've just thought like they're kid problems. Like, they're fucking kid problems. Like, you can go talk to me when you have been dealt with worse. Okay? Because honestly, at this point, these problems, what I'm hearing from you, they're fucking kid problems. They can be solved by a kid very, very easily, you know? And that's what differs. That's the difference. That's a very, very, very important key difference between me and everybody else in that group. Na parang napilitan akong magising sa katotohanan, and they just keep living in that kind of blissful ignorance, that kind of thing. And my friend was like, Joya, what's wrong? You can talk to me about this. And I'm like, bitch, stop. Stop. Again, stop. I just really need to be left. Parang kind of like, I want to wallow myself in that shame. Na parang gusto ko ring isipin na, okay, maybe I deserve this. I just feel like not talking to anybody. I just want to be, you know? Like, just sharing that much information is really overwhelming in the first place, you know? It just really hammers down on you, and it's... How would I say this? Parang, ang hirap niyang, parang hirap niyang i-circumvent, kumbaga. Na, you have a very... how would I say this? Like, a dark, pessimistic view of things. Paradoxical even. Like, siguro, like, ang iniisip ko talaga is, balik na lang kayo sa akin if you've been dealt with worse. Because this is honestly not even the worst shit I've ever heard. And I've seen, I've read, I've heard a lot of really, really fucked up stories. More fucked up than I, have what I've gone through. And I think, like, honestly, one thing, positive thing that really came out, having survived such a horrific experience is yung siguro, yung empathy ko, it has become an innate part of me. I would really feel strongly about certain things. I will assert things. If I know you're wrong, you're wrong. And I will promptly call it out, even if that means cursing. You know, like if I if I sense something's wrong, I'll tell you like it is. Like I don't have a filter for what I say. And that's kind of because yung ano ko rin, I would say like I have a very impromptu kind of process of thinking, you know. I have a very impromptu kind of thinking. As in, kung ano maisip ko, that's what marks. That's what I'm gonna say. If I know you're wrong, and I would sense that you're wrong, I'll tell you immediately. I mean, in some cases, it did take me quite some time, like with Vitsuko last time. But I did promptly call it out in the immediate aftermath of it. If you saw like the earlier episodes of this season, or rather last season, na ano nyo naman na napansin nyo naman na I really promptly called it out. Uh, when it happened. So, parang, alam niyo yun, like, hindi rin excuse na manahimik ka lang, hindi rin excuse na maging gago ka lang, hindi rin excuse na hindi mo alam yung ganito, hindi mo alam yung ganyan, kasi with just how much knowledge there is at your disposal, ang daling matuto, 'di ba? Ang daling maging knowledgeable about things, and it doesn't matter if you don't know or you have responsibilities. Like, the internet's at your fucking disposal, bitch. You can just look up something on Google. You can ask ChatGPT about things. Like, it's a very, very easy solution, you know. And, ito kasi, I will just read the description. Minsan mapapaisip ka na lang, ba't kayo nabuhay? Ano bang purpose ko? Sa dami ng mga challenges at uncertainty sa buhay, madaling mawalan ng pag-asa. But the good news is God reminds us that every life has meaning and every story has hope. And I'm just like, you know, when I was hearing that, when I read this post, and I was thinking about this over the last few days since the Wednesday debacle. 'Di ba may concept, 'di ba may saying na God is good all the time? All the time God is good. Like, it is a very common saying within the Christian community in general. And I will very much talk about philosophy and religion around here. But if he is good, bakit may mga taong nagdurusa pa rin? Like, wag niyong sabihin na, wag niyong sabihin na, kasi binigyan sa kanila, kasi yung pagsubok na feel nila makakapagpabago sa buhay nila, that's bullshit. And that makes us romanticize na suffering is good. Like, in some ways, and in some cases it is, but generally it's not. And especially when it breaks the person, how could you even say na God is good all the time? Like, that's kind of hypocritical. Like, I just think of it as something that's so questionable, and especially if, like, you've really been hammered down by just so much pain and struggle in your life. And it's not that you fail to realize, it's that people fail. Like, you do everything, But people still fail to come through for you, and that's what hurts the most, like trying to be a good person. You try to do better by them. You try to be the best person that you can with them. Pero in the end, paano kung hindi na yun yung paraan to feel like you are presenting yourself in an authentic way in what you believe is authentic and fighting for what you believe in. Like, it's not um it's not to say that, God isn't good or that kind of bullshit. But what makes me think is that some people have just been dealt the worst cards on the deck. Like I did, like I have, and I will gladly admit to that. Pero kasi may mga may mga tao akong nakikita. May mga tao ka makikita on social media, in real life, na they've got everything going for them, and you're just standing there and like, why am I even here again? Do I even belong here again? And like, I don't know the answer to that, because I've always tried to fit in. I've always tried to belong. I try to be the most authentic self that I can whenever I'm with people. But it's weird because they still don't like me anyway. As in, sabi ko na, putang ina, ano bang mali sa akin, be? Ano bang mali sa akin? Like, sabi nila parang Chaya said to me this before, baka mali lang yun mga taong sinasamahan mo. Like, I don't know, like, I try to really find, somebody that could match my vibe, a group that matches my vibe. But it's either like their worldview's too damn different than mine. They're just that's number one. Two, they're just a bunch of idiots trying to get by. Number three, they're just hindi naman sila nagsho-show up for the other person. Like, I don't know anymore, man. Like, I really don't. Na dadagdagan yung questions sa utak ko na naglilinger doon. Naisip ko, maybe, like, maybe I'm better off not being here. And like, what many people don't know is I've tried before. Like, I have tried to do it 13 years. Trigger warning pala. I forgot. I am sorry to be talking about this. But it has to be done. And it is a very poignant issue to what we're talking about right now. But I have done it in 6th grade, y'all. I know this is kind of graphic, but I was in the bathroom. Nasa banyo ako. Ng room namin, ha? Room namin. And I had a scissor. And I was about to stab myself in the neck, in the eye. As in, talaga nakaganon na siya sa akin. And I was taking so long in the bathroom. in the toilet na pang napansin ng dalawang kaklase, and they kind of got me out of it, you know. And you know, I have never really tried to do it again. I've never attempted. That was until last June, I think. Yeah, it was. If I remember correctly, that was last June or late May. And nasa ano ko nito? I was waiting for Doc. And I was waiting for Doc, and I was, and yung railing sa building namin, they were wide. Like the stair railings there were wide. I could fit my body in there. I have tried to do that on the lower floor. Like kasi usually nasa first floor. First floor, second floor lang room namin. So natatry ko siya. Kasya yung buong katawan ko. Look how small my build is. I could fit in that. We used to goof around like that, so I would know, you know. I would know na kasya ako dun. But this time it was different because it was on the third floor. And I was kind of like toying with the idea. So, bang. Okay, I want to try, like, I just want to see, like, how low it would be. And I literally envisioned myself. Like, I literally saw myself, like, okay, imagine mo, yung sarili mo, nakaano ka, like, your legs are hanging off the railing. Your legs are hanging off the floor. And you kind of weasel your way into the railing. And you fall to your death, right? Bro, that will be really scary. Like, I'm already scared of heights. That's the thing. Like, I am... wait. Is agoraphobia the fear of heights? Ano? Hindi. Mali pala, mali. Agoraphobia pala is, ano, pang nag-ano ka. But, hindi, ang ano kasi, ang claustrophobia is, height, ano, being in enclosed spaces eh. I think, acro pala. Acro. Iba ang acro sa agoraphobia. Iba pala. So, parang, ano, parang, ang tendency is, I am scared of heights, so, I imagine myself, like, I really had a vision in my head that I would fall to my death in there. And, like, that was the reason I got referred out of the counseling thing. Because I've attempted. And that was only attempt number 2. Like, it took a 13-year gap between these 2 incidents to prove that I was that fucking close. Most of these guys would not understand. It took me 13 years to do a second attempt. That's how much I was really like trying to get in the right mentality. I was trying to get into, like, back into the swing of things. Pero, like, lalo ngayon, I managed the entire time, but actually during high school, I have tried kaya nga may railings yung ano eh. Parang inaano ko lang yung paa ko dun. Kasi kasya nga, ang late ng katawan ko. But how fucked it is that something you haven't done in a long time, and like you do something you haven't done in a long time. Like, can you believe that? And it's a very good thing that I really was adamant at fighting it off. And seeing that aftermath right in front of me in 12th grade, like this was already at a time where my, you know, my advisor in 12th grade was already my advisor then. Siya na yung advisor namin nun. This happened pretty early in the year too. So, we were just at a point where he got just started. And the school year is just pretty much kicked off. And this person, the one who died, was kind of an acquaintance, I would say. But she was pretty damn famous. Like, she was a volleyball player. And super ganda niya ha. But she was also like pretty sweet. Like, me being the senior of the two, like kasi mas matagal na ako sa campus ministry than she was, and especially in the role, because I would commentate lector. At first I was a collector, then nag lector commentator, which I pretty much did until around 12th grade. So parang tinuruan ko siya doon. Like, I made sure that, she knows how to, like, really emphasize the words and all that stuff. Because I also have a very kind of keen sense of that, parang, ano talaga ako, very specific din ako kasi I have an accent daw, apparently. I have an accent daw na parang mas American kesa sa average Filipino person. And you've probably heard it, we've probably heard it for a long time. And even during this entire episode, siguro naririnig nyo. So parang tinuturuan ko siya doon, and we were kind of like enjoying the vibe, I think that was grade 10 ata. Di ako sure ha. But I was like pretty nagano ko, pang alam niyo na yun, pang bihasa na ako doon. And in 12th grade, that shocking, that news of her death pretty much shocked everybody. And I mean everybody. Some of the guys were like, syempre, medyo ano sila dun kasi hindi lang masyadong kilala yung namatay. But I was kind of able to hold it off. Like, I even went to her wake, like, I believe on the first day. Yeah. I even went to her wake on the very first day. And then, nung nagkaroon ng necrological service sa simbahan namin. Remember, this is a Catholic school. So, there wasn't really mention of anything that is suicide related. And parang nung nandun na ako, like, when I was gonna, like, nakapila na yung mga tao, I was just unable to, like, I was kind of able to hold off on my emotions for a bit. Pero I think Like, nung nandun na ako sa may, niya, kabaong niya, it just broke. Like, parang, it made me realize back that, like, this would have been me. You know? Like, if that attempt really, really went through, that would have been me. And so, it was a Saturday too. Like, the necrological service and yung burial was on a Saturday. I remember that clearly. Kasi walang tao yung junior high school building at the time. And so I went to like to the room where we had stayed during our 8th grade. Sinarado ko yun, then I just really bawled my eyes out. Like, you know, just it really hit an extremely hard point for me. Like, alam niyo, parang nakayanan kong mag-hold off on the thought for a long time. And then here comes like this kind of whiplash that kind of gives you a lesson na, yep, that could have been you, girl. That could have been you if you weren't like properly talked out of it. And that's what makes it so visceral and so poignant and like so different from these guys. Kasi parang hindi nila na-realize yun na baka ganun nga, baka iba ka nga. And like, okay, it's fine to accept that, pero hanggang kailan? Like, when would you accept that things are gonna be like this forever? And even with how much the effort that you're willing to try, even with just how much you want to like connect with somebody and try to open up yourself to other people, pero parang sila rin, parang like, if hindi nila kayang i-handle these kinds of problems, then, diba, would you be a better advisor? Would you be a better person? Would you be a better friend to that person na nangangailangan nun? Like, if you don't even understand, or if, like, yeah, it could go off topic because it is not even, like, I get it. Parang, I get it naman. I did go off topic there, but I just feel like I had to say it. There has to be an avenue for such a conversation, but I guess these guys were just ready for that. Like, you know, you would understand, but you guys are still too young. You just have kid problems. You're gonna be fine. But honestly, it is, unfortunately, problems of a kid. Problems of a 12-year-old even. Pero, iba yung pakiramdam na you have to be strong. Because there wasn't a choice but to be. And, I know I rambled there a lot. But if ever somebody from that group watches this podcast, listens to this, I hope you understand this isn't about you. Like, it just made me realize na if you're not really appreciated in a certain place or in a certain group, fuck them and go leave. Kasi hindi rin, like, kung mag-ano ka lang din, kung tatambay ka lang din naman sa isang lugar na hindi ka naman appreciated, di ka naman Parang bina-value yung opinion mo, yung ano mo, 'di ba? Parang what was even the point? Like, and now I don't even care if Ate Jack is going to talk to me about what happened last Wednesday. I don't even care. Like, I just want to be left alone at this point. I just feel like I need time to just cool the fuck down and not and really not talk to anybody. Kasi parang eto na rin yung parang magsisignal sa akin na maybe it's not worth staying. Or if it is, like, are there people that are going to come through? Kasi kaya ko mag-effort if and only if people show up for me as well. It's a two-way street, people. Relationships a two-way street. This is not one way. Like, be, awa na lang. Hindi to expressway. Na pwede kang, na you have to stay in one lane. You know? Na merong separate lane for the northbound guys and there's a separate lane for the southbound peeps. You know, it's not like that. You really have to think, like, this is relationships a two-way street, people. I don't even fucking care if I rambled a lot, but relationships a two-way fucking street. And I just know, like, if I'm not valued, if I'm not understood, if I'm not appreciated, then fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. No, I don't care what people are gonna say. Like, I'm sorry, I warned y'all. Like, this shit is not filtered. I'm gonna tell you like it is, regardless of whether you like it or not. And even if there's cursing right around the corner, like, it's just how I express myself. Like, so you can't really blame me. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.